Hello, welcome to the show. Winding down after a big championship weekend in Fargo. North Dakota State hosting 2 Summit League championships, and we've got track and field coming up a little bit later. Softball up first. Omaha and South Dakota State made the field this year. They were knocked out in the single elimination opening round. And then double elimination play started with a great game between South Dakota and IUPUI. South Dakota and IUPUI were the top 2 offensive teams in the league this year, and they played a sensational slugfest on Thursday. The Coyotes out to a 2-0 lead in the second inning on RBI doubles by Jamie Holscher and Camille Fowler. But the Jaguars blow up in the bottom of the third. Taylor Chitwood with a 2-run homer for IUPUI. And then freshman Mandy Dallas with a 3-run shot, her first homer of the game, and IUPUI takes a 7-2 lead after 3 innings. The Coyotes get 2 back in the fourth on a single by Jessica Rogers, and it's 7-4 IUPUI after 4. South Dakota regains the lead in the 5th inning. Emily Winkler with a 3-run homer, and it's 8-7 USD. The Coyotes would get 2 more in the 6th, South Dakota leading 10-7, but the Jaguars get 2 in the bottom of the 6th. Maggie Armstrong with an RBI, and it's 10-9 South Dakota after 6 innings. And then the bottom of the 7th, Mandy Dallas leading off to right center. It keeps going, her second homer of the game, ties it at 10. And then with 2 outs and 2 on, Ronnie Patterson at the plate, off the wall in right center. Alyssa Matson scores, and IUPUI wins a fantastic game, 11-10.
We've had times where we've gotten down, and we continue to believe, continue to fight, and continue to stay within our game and trust the process. And we know we have some of the better hitters in the conference, so we're going to continue to fight and trust to get on base, and we're going to score.
So the number 1 seed with a win. South Dakota still alive with just 1 loss. North Dakota State, meanwhile, had a bye in the first round. The Bison facing Western Illinois on Thursday. Emily Ira with 13 strikeouts in the game for the Leathernecks. And Western Illinois out to the lead in the top of the 2nd. Haley Duwa with a 2-run homer. And Western Illinois leads 3-0 after 3 innings. The Bison tie it in the bottom of the 4th. A 3-run shot by Vanessa Anderson. Game tied 3-3. Western Illinois gets the go-ahead, though, in the top of the 5th. Haley Hollitz with an RBI. Emily Ira finishes it off, and Western Illinois beats NDSU 4-3.
But it wasn't going to matter if NDSU came out and scored several or just one. They're just going to fight all the way through and have good energy.
So Western Illinois into the winner's bracket. North Dakota State still alive, and the Bison facing South Dakota in an elimination game on Thursday. NDSU offensive early and often. A first-inning home run by Vanessa Anderson. And then in the 2nd inning, line drive homer by Danny Renner. That got out in a hurry. And then a 3-run shot by Stephanie Soriano, and it's 7-0 North Dakota State. The Bison get 7 more runs in the 5th inning. 16 hits, 4 home runs in the game for North Dakota State. Bison win at 14-3 to knock out South Dakota. They get 11 hits and 11 RBI from their freshmen and sophomores.
Because, you saw Steph from Montana had home runs. Maddie had 3 hits, I believe. Vanessa had the big game. Julia, I think, had a big hit. So a lot of people that are younger, some of our freshmen and sophomores, really stepped up, and they played, like we said, it's survival time. They played with their backs against the wall, and I thought you could just see them kind of step up and do a great job.
So 3 teams left, IUPUI and Western Illinois facing off on Friday. Tied 1-1 in the 3rd. Kelsey Marlowe, a 2-run homer, and the Leathernecks in the lead 3-1. IUPUI with a late inning rally. They get 4 runs in the 6th. Freshman Delaney Thompson, a 3-run bomb. Jaguars take a 5-3 lead. They tack on 4 more in the 7th inning. Ronnie Patterson with her 40th career home run to set a new school record for IUPUI, and the Jags win 9-4. So Western Illinois with 1 loss, North Dakota State with 1 loss. Loser out in this game on Friday. Big first inning for NDSU, a couple of infield singles, a sac fly, a sac bunt. North Dakota State gets out to a 4-0 lead. Western Illinois gets a solo homer in the 3rd from Kelsey Marlowe, and a solo homer in the 4th from Haley Duwa. They cut the lead in half. It's 4-2. But the Bison get homers in the 5th inning from Vanessa Anderson and Montana DeCamp. North Dakota State eliminates Western Illinois in a 6-3 game.
We've been in this position before that Western Illinois was, where you lose a game, you have to come back. And you knew they'd be down. I mean, because it's natural. You're playing a really tight game there. So we just knew that if we could jump on them early, it might give us a little bit more momentum as we get into the rest of the game, and that was key for us.
So North Dakota State on to play IUPUI for the tournament title, and up next, the championship showdown turns into a do-or-die doubleheader.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Dakota Land Honda, South Dakota Corn, and Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort.
Welcome back, and back to softball and the Summit League Championship. IUPUI taking on North Dakota State in the title tilt that turned into 2 games on Saturday. Regular season champion IUPUI, the top seed this year, and back in the championship for the second year in a row, facing North Dakota State, the 3-time defending tournament champions. And NDSU not messing around in game 1. 5 runs in the first inning, a 2-run double for Vanessa Anderson. And then Montana DeCamp, she had 4 home runs going into the tournament and hit 3 in the tournament. The Bison put 5 runs on the board before they make an out in this game. And it's 6-0 in the bottom of the second when the Jaguars get a couple of runs back. Delaney Thompson leads off with a solo homer, and Mackenzie Loge follows that up with another solo shot. NDSU still in the lead, though, at 6-2. And then Zoe Stavro blows it open in the third inning. 3-run shot to dead center to make it 9-2 North Dakota State. Bree Beatty goes 4 for 5 with 4 RBI, and North Dakota State forces a second championship game with a 13-4 win in game 1. So on to the final game. And the Jaguars jump on the board in the top of the first inning. The IUPUI seniors continue to produce. Ronnie Patterson drives in Taylor Chitwood. And then freshman Mandy Dallas jabs one down the right field line. Patterson coming around to score, and a great start for the Jags. They lead 3-0. NDSU goes to work in the bottom of the second. Danny Renner drives in Julia Luciano for the first Bison run of the game. Zoe Stavro follows that up with a smash back up the middle. And we got a play at the plate, and Renner is safe. And it's a 3-2 IUPUI lead through 3 innings. NDSU starting pitcher Jacqueline Surdick was lights out from there on. Surdick strikes out 7. She retires 18 batters in a row over the final 6 innings. And North Dakota State completes the comeback. Number 9 hitter Madison Camacho drives in Luciano to tie the game at 3. They get the go-ahead in the 5th on a sharp single by Montana DeCamp. Surdick closes it out, and North Dakota State earns the tournament title for the 4th year in a row.
All the adversity they went through this year, and just it was like a different program in a lot of different ways, with Jamie and Brent taking one at Iowa State, and then having, like you said, one starter returning, and all the injuries and stuff we had. So yeah, it was a lot of. I'm tired, but it's one of those that you're freaking jacked up right now too. So I'm really proud of these guys because they actually did everything we talked about and came together as a team. And that's what we preached about all year: is try to get away from the individual statistics, individual glory, play as a team, and they did this weekend.
You definitely can see us grow. We're talking about we're the little girls at the beginning of the tournament, and we got our big girl pants on, and we all played together, and it was just really fun to come together for sure.
I think it says a lot about our tradition, actually. And something we've been preaching all year, like Bison tradition, true grit. Like we can do anything we set our mind to, and just go one pitch at a time, and really focus in and kind of like finish the game and finish the season out.
It's definitely been a growing experience all year to just find who we are and figure out what we're playing for, especially since we only have one senior that's leaving. So it's like who are you playing for? We're playing for Alyssa, we're playing for each other, we're playing for another day on the field, we're playing to just keep being together as a team.
Well, Brian Sean and former North Dakota State player Andy Padilla were on the live broadcast of the Summit League Championships, and here they are to wrap it up in Fargo.
All right, thanks so much, Tom. Brian Sean and Andy Padilla here recapping the Summit League softball tournament in Fargo. An exciting finish as North Dakota State wins it for the 8th time in the last 9 years. And Andy, we saw a really exciting tournament from start to finish. A lot of comebacks, a lot of crazy plays, and North Dakota State, with their youngest team they've had in a long time, finds a way to survive. What do you make out of that?
I think that says a lot about the coaching staff and just the drive for the girls to
just fight. I mean, being a little more inexperienced when it comes to conference tournament time, they had a lot of strong leadership on the mound with KK Letty and Jacqueline Sertic. So I think that had a lot to do, and Jack set the tone for the second game today, and I think that worked out pretty well for the Bison.
You know, you look at what North Dakota State's had to endure after losing that first game, and they were in survival mode and essentially had to win 4 straight games. IUPUI was playing really good softball coming in. What do you think the key was to keeping their hitters at bay? Because North Dakota State only allowed, you know, a minimal amount of runs, just 4 runs in the first game and then just a few in the second game.
Right. That just says a lot for how the pitching staff just kind of controlled the game a little bit. Once Jax found her groove, she was able to just kind of keep IUPUI hitters on their toes a little bit. We saw a lot of power from IUPUI earlier in this tournament, and it just kind of got silenced here at the end.
Yeah, Jacqueline Sertic really did a great job in that second game after giving up 3 runs early in the first, and the Bison able to come back. Surprised about this North Dakota State team. Surprised the fact they've been able to win 8 out of 9 tournaments. You were a part of this program that really started this trend in 2009, yet here the program still is. What surprises you most about it?
I just think that, you know, still finding a way to win. Sometimes it's not pretty, it can be ugly, but it's just being, you know, fighting till the end, really just showing up when it's championship day and your team needs you. I love seeing it as an alumni, that after all these years we're still being successful and you're still giving your team a chance to get to NCAA tournament.
All right.
Never gets old.
It never gets old. Thank you so much, Andy. We appreciate you
Thanks.
joining us for the broadcast and recapping the Summit League softball tournament. North Dakota State moving on to the NCAA tournament once again. Tom, back to you.
All right, thank you guys. Bison on to the NCAA Regionals now. North Dakota State will play defending national champion Oklahoma at 1:30 Central Time this Friday in Norman, Oklahoma. Tulsa and Arkansas, the other 2 teams in the bracket. All of the regional softball games this year can be seen, by the way, on ESPN3. And IUPUI did play a postseason tournament, just started this year, the National Invitational Softball Championship. Tough loss for the Jags in Game 1. Illinois State scores 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th to win it 5-4. And then on Wednesday, a 7-1 loss to Michigan State to end the season for IUPUI. Ronnie Patterson, 2 hits and an RBI. Track and field coming up next. Some Summit League seniors finishing up their college career in style at the league championship. Welcome back. Now to track and field. The Summit League Outdoor Championships running over the weekend in Fargo. And North Dakota State continues its dominance, and it is incredibly impressive. And we will get to that in a moment. But here are some of the other outstanding performances from this year's championships. Oral Roberts has some of the fastest guys in the Summit League. Dakari Hicks sets a new 200-meter championship record, does it in the prelims with a time of 20.76. And then Hicks finishes second in the finals to ORU teammate Omiza Accarelli, who wins it in a time of 20.92 seconds. Accarelli also wins the 400 meters. And then he and Hicks team up as Oral Roberts takes the 4x400 relay in a championship record time of 3:11:06. South Dakota beats Oral Roberts by 1/100th of a second in the 4x100 relay. The Coyotes, anchored by Gawain Williams, first across in a championship record time of 40.41 seconds. And Williams wins the 100-meter dash as well, 10.4 seconds. It is his 3rd straight championship in the 100 meters. South Dakota senior Amber Eichhorn doubles up with wins in the 5,000 and the 10,000 meters. She is a 3-time league champion in both of those events and leads her team to a 2nd-place finish.
This year we actually, I feel like more than all the other years, like we rallied together. Like we had our throwers on the curves, we had our sprinters, our jumpers, like everyone was there supporting each other, and that was just, like, this meet was fun for me. Yeah, there was the pressure of it being our conference, but also it was just so much fun to run, and always knowing that at any point in the race, like, there was someone that was cheering for me, and it was my teammates, and it was awesome.
Well, South Dakota with another 3-time champion, Danielle Waldner in the shot put. She goes just under 57 feet to set a new league championship record. Her distance of 56 feet, 11.5 inches is 8th best in the nation right now. In the women's high jump, Omaha junior Stephanie Arns, a back-to-back champion, wins it this year at 5 feet, 10.5 inches. In the men's steeplechase, IUPUI senior Robert Murphy, a back-to-back champion, wins this year in a time of 8:59.93. In the men's hurdles, South Dakota senior Jay Cooper, back-to-back champion in the 400-meter hurdles, and Cooper wins the 110 hurdles as well in a time of 14:31. In the men's distance events, South Dakota State very strong. Kyle Burdick wins the 1500 for the Jacks in a meet record time of 3:46.86, and Burdick wins the 10,000 meters, finishing just ahead of senior teammate Joel Reichout.
Joel let me win the 10K, that's for sure. And then I wasn't so sure about the 15. Definitely felt it during the race, but that's my main race. So
Burdick, just a sophomore, is a two-event champion, and so is South Dakota State freshman Bryant Quarter, who wins the long jump and the triple jump.
Probably the best feeling I've had in all of my career, high school through college so far. Just especially doing it for your school when you're competing for, what we thought was going to be hopefully a chance at a title, but came up short there, and just felt really nice.
Well, the Jackrabbit men finish second in the team standings behind North Dakota State. The Bison men and women continue unbelievable and unprecedented streaks in the outdoor season. More on that coming up next. Welcome back to track, and there have been some long championship streaks in Summit League history in the past. Oral Roberts had 15 in a row in baseball and in women's golf, but for current back-to-back championship strings, North Dakota State is doing something very special in outdoor track and field.
It's super special. Like every year, you don't want to be the class that loses the streak, and so it really fires everyone up. And so I'm proud to be a Bison.
It's amazing. I mean, it's a dynasty here. Just it's expected. We have a target on our back every single year, and the recruiting teams are getting better and better in the other schools, and so we have to compete with that also. So we just come out here and try our best and hope for the best in the end.
Caitlin Weimerskirk has been a big part of the last 4 Summit League Outdoor Championships at North Dakota State, and the Bison women have now won 10 in a row to match their current streak of 10 straight indoor track and field championships, 20 in a row overall. Weimerskirk wins the discus and the hammer throw titles again this year, and she sets championship records in both events.
I was just trying not to let that get to me while I was competing. I just focused on what I was doing, my performance and my technique and stuff, and I just let it all fall into place and stayed calm with that.
Well, another North Dakota State senior finishes the weekend with 5 wins. Rose Jackson takes gold in the 100-meter dash, the 200, the long jump, the heptathlon, and the Bison 4x100 relay.
Definitely exceeded expectations. I was thinking before the 200, I was like, wow, I'm so tired. But I was just like, it's just a 200, everyone's tired, and it's just like, I just got to give it my all.
Jackson and the Bison win 9 of the 12 track events in the 3-day meet. Amy Andrushko caps her college career by winning the 800 meters for the 3rd straight year. Alexis Woods wins the 400 meters and sets a new league championship record in a time of 52.99. In all, North Dakota State's women win 15 of the 21 total events, and they set a new league record for total team points.
Great group of seniors, great leadership, great toughness. They definitely carried on the Bison tradition. When you can rely on those kids every year to score points, and there were some juniors and some sophomores that had great performances, and that's always exciting for us, is to have those underclassmen feed off of them and step up and compete well at the conference meet. But hats off to our seniors. They put in a lot of hard work and effort, and this doesn't come easy. They work as hard as anybody out there, and they want to be as good as they can.
Meanwhile, the North Dakota State men have not won 10 team titles in a row, just 8 in a row, and 9 of the last 10. Bison senior Alex Renner wins his 3rd straight shot put title, sets a new school and league championship record with a toss of 64 feet 4.5 inches. That puts him in the top 10 in the nation. Maddie Mortimer earns a 3-peat in the javelin. He sets a new championship record with a throw of 244 feet 5 inches. Stefan Stroh wins the hammer throw and the discus. The Bison men dominate the field events on their way to an 8th straight team championship.
Huge key is not only the level of competition of our seniors, but the senior leadership group. Kind of a cliche, a lot of people talk about senior leadership. and things. And then it goes down to the individualized coaching these kids are getting from our staff. And obviously I've been here a long time and things, and this is a very tight-knit group, with the athletes and the coaching staff and things. And it's great to be able to compete at home. It is finals week, but you're not traveling, and to be able to get the job done at home even makes it even more fun.
And we finish up with baseball. Coming up next, does anybody have the pitching to beat Oral Roberts in the Summit League tournament this year? These guys might.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Dakota Land Honda, South Dakota Corn, and Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort.
Welcome back. Now to baseball. 1 week left in the regular season, and Oral Roberts has already clinched another regular season title after a sweep at home against Omaha. Brent Williams goes 7 for 11 in that series with 2 home runs. He leads the league right now with 15 homers. And Reed Funenstein of North Dakota State is the pitcher of the week, gets his first complete game shutout win by blanking Western Illinois 8-0 on Saturday, as North Dakota State stays hot with another series sweep. And finally, Summit League men's golf champion South Dakota State playing in the NCAA Regional hosted by Stanford University this week.
The Jacks had a rough first round. They finished last in the 13-team field. Stanford and Baylor tie at the top. The top 5 teams advance to the national championship round. Grant Smith of South Dakota State closes with a 71 to finish in a tie for 48th, and we will see you next week.